Well, it's recorded now, so
But first, for a word from our sponsor.
that's early.
It's because I really want my drink.
Nice. Hello, Internet. How are the 11 of you doing today?
There's got to be at least more than 11 by now, we hope.
Maybe.
Either way.
How are the 6 of you doing today?
6 is not a bigger number. I completely lost my train of thought. It doesn't matter. Fucking hell. How are we doing?
I'm good, man. Are you?
I'm good. I feel like quite wiped this week, but that's just the horrors persist under capitalism, and so do I.
Yep, cool.
Which
We all move. We're all adults. We're all tired all the time.
we're all tired all the time.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've done one of these. It doesn't feel that way to you guys because we release these episodes relatively consistently.
Although this one will be late.
Will it?
I'm not editing it tonight. It will be late.
Fuck it, I can fuck off.
We are currently recording this on Friday evening. I'm guessing we'll probably release this on Saturday.
We'll see what. I'm in Birmingham tomorrow, bro.
I mean, you can get it ready in the morning, can't you? I might edit it tomorrow morning. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
This will be out at a time after this.
Theoretically, because we live in the future, there's nothing stopping me from uploading this via my phone while I'm sat in a hotel.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the future. But yeah, so we've been busy boys recently, haven't we?
Yeah. Just one of the reasons why we've possibly forgot to do this, not forgot, delayed to do this, is we've been working a lot on upcoming stuff.
I was going to say the main reason we've been busy boys is because what have we done recently, Alex?
Various amounts of things. We've booked loads of shows.
We've booked a metric ton of shows. And also we've been to a couple of gigs, haven't we?
Yes,
Yes, we have.
Yeah, yes, we have.
It was
I forgot about that.
Last weekend.
It was last weekend. Wait, no, it wasn't.
The
No, it was
weekend
during.
before.
No, it was during the week.
Yeah, both. We went to 2 gigs.
2 gig.
On not my birthday, on the March the 1st, we went to go see the 900.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was wondering. Yeah.
We went to go see this band called the 900, who are a band that play exclusively songs from the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack.
Which the soundtrack bangs.
The soundtrack does indeed bang. Even though I've never played any Pro Skater game, I got in on American Underground.
Yeah, I was. Well, I must have played like a couple bits here and there, but I was very similar. Like the first one I think I owned was actually Underground.
Yeah, because
and then you go back and you go, right, let's check out what started.
I couldn't go back because I think they were only ever on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, because you were
Xbox kid.
You were an Xbox kid.
Yeah. As we covered on the Pokemon episode.
Yep.
But I mean, to be fair, all the Tony Hawk games have just had undeniable soundtracks.
Yeah, they have.
It's how I got to Kiss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tony Hawk's Underground on the Kiss level.
The Kiss level. And then I went, what is this?
When you play it and you collect all of the secret tapes and it's a live video or like a music video of Kiss.
Yeah, I think it's like Love Gun or something.
Yeah.
Which is an absolute banger.
And then you can start doing tricks over like video games versions of Kiss.
Yeah.
As they play on like a weird stage.
And I can bet you any money that Kiss probably got paid more for that than Tony Hawk, the entire franchise, made.
I don't know. Tony Hawk has made a lot of money off
mean,
these
like,
franchises.
Yeah, but like,
Kiss. It is Kiss. But I heard something recently where Tony Hawk just like still gets like random royalties from these things. Like is like the guy that like was his main contact at Activision when they made these games, like comes up to him every so often. He's like, "Hey man, I got a royalty for you," and it's somewhere like near $1 million.
I mean, to be fair, Tony Hawk deserves it because he just seems like a genuine dude.
Absolutely.
A genuine dude, and also like the amount that he did for skateboarding.
Oh yeah,
and also like what those games did for skateboarding as well.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it got guys like me into skateboarding. I can't skate.
Yeah,
but it also got us into the culture of it.
I find it, so I did skate for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I find it, the culture and the community behind skateboarding is sometimes a little bit like the communities that we're used to. So like the metalcore communities or like the metal communities and heavy music communities in general, is that we're all basically there to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So no matter what else you're into, cool, you're part of my community. Like, let's hang out, let's talk about, or like let's go do the things that we're into.
Yeah, for real. Because like a lot of my mates that I've met at festivals and stuff, including people that I only see once a year, I would class them as like pretty good mates.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've just spent a whole weekend with you.
Yeah.
Fucking around.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've just bonded over that. And it's like, oh, we all seem to have a fair bit in common on different things. Because there was like a lass that I met at Bloodstock last year where one of us made a Red Dwarf quote and then they were there like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
And it just kept happening. Like everyone's kind of like pointing, like it's the Spider-Man meme. As everyone's pointing, it's like, we've just met, like, we are now best friends.
Yeah. It's the Step Brothers thing. It's like, did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yeah, I've only seen that film once and I did not care for it.
I really like Step Brothers.
Fucking hated it. But yeah, so there's a band. So obviously people are aware of my opinion of cover bands.
Yeah, well, so all of us kind of went, oh, it'll be a laugh, like tickets aren't that much.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a gig. We decided to do it when we were all in Spoons one night.
Yeah.
So that's the level of thought that was put into it.
It was like, boys, should we go to this? Yeah, okay, Sam, we've bought 6 tickets or whatever.
And then on the day we were like, is this going to be good or not? It can't be that bad, surely.
Well, so me, you, and Connor went to it.
Yeah.
With a couple other mates that we met there.
Yeah.
And me and you like kind of knew what was going on. You put in the group chat, boys, the set start at 7:30, and Connor went, for what?
Yeah. Connor shit the bed and thought that we'd somehow booked a gig that he'd forgotten about.
Yeah, or it was some massive show that he was like meant to be really excited for.
Yeah, and he just didn't know.
Oh, it's for that 900 band. Like that Tony Hawk's cover band. And we went, oh, okay, fair enough. Well, it'll be a laugh. Let's go along.
Yeah, so obviously, like, I'm not a big fan of cover bands, especially like the tributey kind of ones where they pretend to be those artists.
Yeah.
Like, dressing up a bit's not the worst, because like our mate Martin's in Chop Suey and he does whack on a suit, so he looks a bit like Serge. But Martin's got pipes, so it's valid. Yeah. But I'm not super into it, especially like gimmicky bands and stuff. Hate much of it.
And this one did seem like a gimmicky band.
Yeah, because like the drum kick skin looked like the PlayStation 1
yeah.
But he was like, fair, commit to the bit. We were like, okay, we'll probably know a few songs. It'll be a laugh. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
We've had a night out and,
whatever.
It was like, if it's actually shit, because they did 2 sets so it was Doors, first set, Break, second set.
The only band on.
So we were like, fair enough. The tickets were £12. That's pretty good.
It was like enough. And we have a saying within the Wolves camp where we say it's within the banter budget.
Yeah, which is like £20.
If anything's like less than £20, we go fuck it. Pay someone pay for it. We'll go.
Yeah, like
we'll do it, or we'll buy this weird thing or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's not enough money that if you lost it. I mean, obviously this isn't relevant for everyone. Like everyone's different and stuff. But we kind of go £20 is about something like if you brought something, if it was shit, it's not enough money that you like. My day's ruined.
Yeah, every now and again you go fuck it. It's less than £20. Like. It was a laugh or whatever, or maybe it's a laugh because it's shit.
Yeah. It's like when we played with Bloody Word, and I had a Amazon gift card for like a tenner.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I've just brought 2 inflatable aliens.
Yeah,
it was like I could have used that for something relatively sensible. I went, oh, we're playing this big gig at Rescue Rooms. Like, what can we do to kind of like add to the hype? It's like inflatable aliens,
and we would have said something along the lines of. It's within the banter budget.
Yeah, it's within the banter budget. But yeah, so our expectations going into this weren't high.
No.
But then the band starts, they come out. I didn't see any of the first 3 songs.
Because you were waiting for the bar for like...
Bless those 2 lassies who all of a sudden, like, we got there at Rescue Rooms in Knots and there was like fuck all people there. So we were like, this is a bit... Ugh.
Yeah, we were like... and then we were like... Fuck it. We'll like instead of going to like the regular bar. So for anyone that doesn't know, Rescue Rooms has like an actual bar and then a venue that has a bar in it.
Yeah.
And we went, screw it. We'll get in. We'll get drinks at the bar there.
Yeah, it was like, he's like, we'll went for a slash.
Yeah.
And come back. All right, the band's starting like 15 minutes. Yeah, whatever. Go for a slash. go for have another cig, and then go in, and then all of a sudden there's a queue down
within this time the queue had built up.
We were like,
and it took us like 20 minutes to get in.
Yeah, so I thought I'll go in, and there's no normally at gigs you can get even if it's rammed, you can get in and out the bar relatively quickly.
Usually,
but it was one of those ones where it's like I got near the front and I saw the look of fear in one of the bar girls' eyes, as like, you know, and it's like when you're at work and things are just going wrong that are out of your control. It was one of those moments. Yeah. So it's like, it's busy. Something on the till doesn't work. One of the beers has just gone off because it's run out. And you're just like going, oh, God.
Yeah.
It was one of those. I was like, so it took me like 3 songs to get back. But shit happens. I've never been mad at stuff like that. It is what it is, you know. But during the first few songs, like all of a sudden, like the vocalist is like doing like harsh vocals. There's like heavier bits, and I'm like, okay, these guys are not just playing the song straight. They are like,
they are covering these songs as a band.
And then like as you get a better look at the guys in the band, like the vocalist takes his top off and he's got like a tank top that says VGHC.
Yeah,
and you can see tattoos. The drummers then topless, and he's got like it's
and we quickly come to the realization of these. Like, these guys are probably either like well into the music, or are in like a hardcore / metalcore band themselves.
Yeah, like you can tell
they're real magicians like us, Stephen.
They're real magicians, and they just started throwing like breakdowns into like songs and stuff, and it was like it went from, oh, this could just be an all right night to, all right, these guys are having fun with it. We're having fun with it. And it was genuinely chaotic. So
some of the most, like, without it being like a proper hardcore show, so like one of the most chaotic times I've seen Rescue Rooms, like in a small, what would you say the cap, like 500 cap?
$500 thing, yeah.
500 cap venue. Well, smallish venue, like it's a reasonable size for
it's reasonable size. Rescue Rooms host, we've seen some pretty big bands.
But basically, some of the more chaotic pits I've seen in there for a band that's playing essentially like 90s punk.
It's 90s punk. There was like a Nirvana cover. Like there was nothing particularly that heavy apart from like.
Oh, there's a few. There was like trying to remember. Like there was like the System.
Yeah,
I forgot System of a Down was on the.
Yeah, they did System of a Down. Motorhead. Like there was like I was like, especially for like, I've never played the games, but you played them a bit. But you're aware of all the songs anyway because they're so ingrained in the rock and metal culture.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like, oh yeah, I know this one.
Yeah.
Or you've heard it at some point in a rock bar you were in. And you're just like, oh yeah. But they put such a spin on it, and the energy was just like, it was like, all right, we're just having fun now.
Yeah.
Like it didn't particularly matter.
It fully, basically, what we're trying to say is they fully exceeded expectations very quickly.
Yeah, so we will be seeing them again.
Yeah.
And this is a full recommendation. If they are playing anywhere near you and you've got a free night,
absolutely.
Go.
I think they were really, we said this on the night, they were really smart with it because, as we said, tickets were only 12 quid each, right? But that was enough. That was enough for a lot of people, seemingly like us, to go, we'll go, it'll be a laugh. And suddenly the room was full. I'm pretty sure it sold out by the end on door.
It probably did. And also I heard some people overhearing that they're like, oh yeah, last time I saw them they were at Bodega. And Bodega is fucking tiny.
Yeah, it is really small.
To jump from Bodega to then Rescue Rooms, that is a very big jump.
So on the night, on the way home, a couple things about this band. I basically scrolled through their Instagram, like, oh, let's see if they've been anywhere notable. So they did Third Stage of Download.
Did they?
With a full tent.
Yo, all right.
Like either 2022 or 2023.
I mean, that's pretty blessed.
So that's pretty big. The other thing that I saw that is like pinned to the top of their page, and why wouldn't it be, was maybe 2 years ago they toured America.
Oh.
And managed to get Tony Hawk on stage
at
one of the venues, to play Superman by Goldfinger, which is like the song.
I've seen the video. Yeah. I didn't realize it was them.
And it was the same band.
Yeah,
that managed to get Tony Hawk on stage, which is really cool.
So that's it then. So from a band that we never heard of, who are just doing their own thing, and it works.
Yeah,
which is.
And like the band were really tight, and that's why it was like they were good as a band, regardless of the music they were playing.
Yeah,
like the frontman's like stage presence was like spot on.
He was
like,
an absolute madman.
Like the charisma levels were high, and like he was just enjoying himself. You could tell he had the crowd.
Yeah,
like
it started off a bit slow, but then obviously there's people got a few pints deep. The song started picking up a bit. Because, I mean, I tried to catch that flying pint that went all over us.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where my hand-eye coordination in the dark ain't what it should be. So I'm not training for the next one.
But yeah, solid fucking show.
Yeah, solid.
Absolute solid show.
Give that a go. But we then, a couple of days later, went to another gig.
Seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, we can't just have...
We like live music.
We can't just have a gig and a break. We then have to, like, keep going. Granted, we had this gig booked way in advance as soon as tickets went on sale. So we saw Polaris and Silent Planet.
Yeah.
Admittedly, we
two songs of Thornhill.
And 2 songs of Thornhill. And we missed Pale Dust because, admittedly, the queue was massive. We went for a drink in Subside. And then, because as we do, we were all just sat about having a nice time. We just kind of lost track of time.
Yeah, we lost track of time and went, we best go in now.
Yeah, so we caught it back into Thornhill. Can't say they do anything for me.
No, I went back and listened to more of Thornhill, and I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
And they're probably a good band.
I know Adam likes them, and I see a lot of them being mentioned on like r/metalcore and stuff.
Yeah.
But once again,
they get decent numbers, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are into them and probably disagree with us and say that they're sick. But
I mean, it's like with anything that we say, it's just like, unless we're actively saying something is shit, it's like we're just not like things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if it ever came up, they were at a gig and it's like, would I see them again? Probably. Maybe if I saw a full set, I might fully get it.
They're one of those bands that I'd like to go for a bit longer of a set. Maybe that might change my mind on them, because I have had my mind changed for other bands when I've seen them live, but they're one of those bands where if they were playing a headliner, I probably wouldn't go, depending on the supports.
Yeah.
But if they were supporting another band, I'd probably give them another chance.
Yeah, just one of those. And we missed Pale Dusk. I'm going to assume they were mental.
But
admittedly, I'm not mad into Pale Dusk. I just find them really interesting.
Yeah,
so
same.
I want to see them live to kind of do like the whole natty or not thing.
Yeah.
And also to see what the fuck's going to happen.
I want to see how much of their stuff is on tracks and how much of it is live.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was basically just a few bits of backing vocals and then just synths on backing.
They have a lot of like synthy, poppy, like J-pop kind of influences alongside metalcore.
Yeah, and it's just
and it's just madness.
Which is pretty fun.
As we've come to find that a lot of Japanese metalcore is.
But yeah, so then it was Silent Planet, which admittedly was the band I was most hyped for.
I was 50-50 on hype for Silent Planet and Polaris, but I was very hyped to see Silent Planet, and I think it was very clever of Polaris or whoever managed that tour to give Silent Planet a 45-minute set.
For real.
Yeah.
It popped off. I mean, I basically gave myself up to be like, I am going in the pit. So I was just like, I'll see you chaps later.
Yeah.
And just off I went.
Yeah, I know.
Which it was a good laugh. Apart from I hit the floor so hard, I just fucking factory reset myself.
I was also not expecting them to have a 45-minute set. I was fully expecting for them to go on play 5 or 6 songs for half an hour. Admittedly, they probably would have played all bangers because a lot of Silent Planet is bangers. But then when I realised that actually they're going longer, you know, when you get to like, when you think the end of the set's going to be and be like, oh, but they haven't played like the 3 songs that you know that they're going to play.
They haven't played Trilogy
yet. Yeah, they haven't played Trilogy. They haven't played Antimatter yet. Like,
they're just like going, oh no.
Yeah.
And you probably just like, Steve's still out there.
Yeah. Steve's lost somewhere in the crowd.
To be fair, I only ate shit so hard, not because of the pit itself. It's because I slipped on some fucking beer on the floor.
Probably because you didn't catch it again.
Then why does this keep happening to me? Why am I getting like cursed with like liquids? This is like the dumbest thing. Like, whoever's got my voodoo doll, fucking stop it.
Nice.
But yeah, Silent Planet was sick, and also like with all the visuals and the video.
Yeah, in fact, like Silent Planet actually had weirdly better visuals than Polaris. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not saying Polaris don't strike me as a band to go for the visuals kind of thing, and they went for like the classic, just like static backdrop, with Polaris, with their logo on it, in the colors of their latest album. And they still look sick, but Silent Planet had like next level,
a full video wall with like all the stuff for the new artwork, the new album, then like the older stuff matched, and it even it went along to whatever song it was, because like the trilogy breakdown, the entire back wall was just static, and it's
red static, it went along exactly with the lyrics.
Yeah, although I did see something pretty fucking joke while they were playing, because I ended up right near the front.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I just clocked Garrett just all of a sudden just stop and look up at the top right where like the risers are and stuff on the side of the stage.
Oh yeah.
Like the way, just to clarify, we were at the O2 Institute in Birmingham.
O2 Institute, which is an old theatre.
Which is an old theatre. So if you've been in it before, you know how it looks. But so the stage is essentially an old stage.
Yep. So
it has up the sides of the stage like two little bits where like people can walk and look over.
Yeah.
So I see Garrett like look up, looking really confused. Then I just see this fucking Nerf gun hanging over the side. So one of the guys in Polaris, Garrett was shouting at the mic. One of the guys in Polaris were just fucking shooting them while they were playing.
See, that's the kind of shenanigans that we'd get up to on tour.
It would be worse. It would be 100% worse.
I feel like it's worth buying a Nerf gun now.
I keep trying to put it off because you see those massive Gatling cannons. But they are well above the
ones that shoot like hundreds of rounds a second.
But then we know for what's going to happen is we then have to go and clean them all up.
Oh yeah,
and I ain't doing that.
No.
So let's just agree.
We did rose petals once, and that was enough.
Oh, that was but we also swept up the venue. We were nice.
We were nice.
That's easier than Nerf bullets.
Yeah.
Because then we'd have to touch them again. And we don't so.
I feel like one of us would end up like shooting someone in the crowd and like hitting someone in the eye.
Yeah,
and it'd be like a whole thing.
It would just be a whole thing, and we ain't doing it.
No.
So just for the sake of sanity. But yeah, then it was Polaris, the headliners.
Yeah.
Who were like objectively
absolute slappers.
But instead of hearing it for me, I got a dial-in specially to review Polaris for us.
You what?
I got a dial-in. Hang on. Let me just.
I did not know this. This is new podcast content
from our reporter on the ground.
Reporter on the ground.
All right. So seeing Polaris in Birmingham. It's been 5 or 6 years since I wanted to go see them. So a lot of anticipation going into this one. High expectations, and honestly, I can say the boys absolutely smashed it. The show was amazing. The set list front to back was like obviously heavily skewed towards the new record, but it was just a really, really good set list throughout. A couple of oldies in there as well. I was losing myself the entire time, jumping up and down and just going nuts. And I think everyone around that we sort of like we went to the show with came away saying it was way better than they expected. And just 11 out of 10. They smashed it.
Thank you, James.
Thanks. So, for anyone that didn't recognise his voice, that was James, our guitarist, who we had on last episode. I think we were talking about his anticipation for that show on the last episode.
And also my anticipation for being a problem. And then I got injured, so there we go.
I concur with James very much.
I asked him to do that, Eric. I just messaged him and went, yo, I need to do something for me for the bit. Can you send me a voice note of you reviewing the Polaris gig? Thanks.
Oh, mad.
He was like, what you doing with this? I was like, I'm not quite sure either.
He'll find out soon enough. If he ever actually listens to this.
I'm not gonna
Hi, James.
I'm not going to tell him. That's the best bit. I think I alluded to that was for the podcast, but
right, okay.
We moved.
He may well figure it out. He may well have figured it out. Who knows? When you ask him to do like a voice note for something and you go, I'm not quite sure, it's probably, me and you are probably up to something.
But yeah, so overall, pretty good night.
Yeah, no, it's sick.
Still not a massive fan of Birmingham as a city. Not one of the worst.
I'll take it or leave it.
Yeah, it's all right.
We've got a show there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're playing at the Devil's Dog in the Devil's Dog in Digbeth
on the 13th of April.
I think it's 14th, mate. Saturday. It is the 13th.
It's the 13th. Because I looked this up earlier.
Never listen to me.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're in or around the Birmingham area and want to come see us, please.
Yeah.
We're also playing Manchester next week. Not that it matters because the podcast may or may not be out by that point.
No, I think we. Yeah, it'll be out by that one.
If you listen to this and it is before Friday and you are in or around the greater Manchester area, we're playing at a venue in Oldham.
In Oldham, yeah.
I don't remember what the venue's called.
No idea.
But it is free entry. Check out our socials. There's definitely some posts about it. And
if I'm honest, I didn't even realise it was free entry.
It's free entry.
Okay.
So you know what that means? It's free entry.
It's free entry.
Which means you can't complain.
Yeah, exactly.
All you've got to do is get there.
Yep.
And get back, maybe. But Manchester's a
it'll be on our socials exactly where it is. Look for the poster.
It'll be blessed. And Manchester's got some pretty good public transport infrastructure.
It does.
That tram is pretty sick.
Yep.
Look at us being nerds. Right, let's move on to the news. Not sure why I did that.
It's staying in now.
It's staying. I expect that. I'm gonna go. It's not really. It's less news. It's just kind of stuff that I've thought about and or seen over the past couple of weeks.
We need a jingle for that one. Okay. Stuff that Steve has thought about.
It is one news section for the only thing that I've seen that's remotely interesting because it was on social media.
Okay.
Ronnie Radke and Falling in Reverse have deleted all their social media.
Oh no.
Apparently this was newsworthy.
Okay.
So I just kind of went, that's a bit weird because Ronnie Radke loves arguing with people on Twitter.
No, that's very true.
I thought it was a bit more odd that Falling in Reverse's socials have all gone as well.
It might be a PR thing for a new release.
Yeah.
Or it could be that. So he may have been instructed by his management. As hard as that may seem to instruct Ronnie Radke, because he generally tends to do what he wants.
But I believe that's just kind of the thing, because as we've discussed previously, the problem is, by him being a bit of a bellend, people keep talking about him.
Yep. And it works.
And so
we are talking about him right now.
We just do it just because it's just funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, we're not one of those people who's like, oh my God, have you heard about the fact that Ronnie Radke's been mean to someone on the internet? Because there's literally
that happens all the time.
I mean, to be fair, if I had that level of notoriety, I'd probably stop being mean to people on the internet. Probably not to the degree that he is, though. I'd be like picking on people that probably deserve it, and probably just random people for no reason. Just
all your mates.
No, 100%. Because
we're mean to our mates on the internet anyway.
Oh, could you imagine though how bad it would look? Is like, let's say if I had like 10,000 followers on Twitter, and then like one of our mates has only got like a couple of hundred or whatever, because like a regular person amount of followers, and then I just fucking tweet some random shit at them one day, which would have full context to something we've done face to face,
or like me who's got like 7.
Yeah, and then just kind of like just get obviously just like there'd be like news. I was like, why is Stephen? I'm picking on
people would pick it up and clip it and take it the wrong way or whatever.
We'd probably just make it worse.
Yeah,
we'd 100% make it worse.
Yeah,
be funny though.
Okay, so is that your thing?
No, because I did a bit more digging.
Yep.
Because I was curious. So obviously there is now no social media presence for a band.
Yep.
They have tickets on sale for upcoming dates.
Yep.
So I assume that people are aware of them. Because how would you promote your gig
if you do a media blackout?
No, not just a media blackout. The accounts do not exist.
Oh, they don't exist.
That's what I remember. Like deleted. Like they are.
Oh man, I thought they'd just done like a bit of a a blackout thing.
No. I wouldn't be talking about if it was a blackout thing. That's
I'm gonna fact check this. I believe you, but I'm gonna see if like Twitter. I'm assuming
before it's anything, the only social I didn't check was Instagram because I was on my PC and I hate using Instagram on my PC.
It's the worst.
I checked Twitter and I checked Facebook. There are no social media accounts at all.
No, you are. Well, let's do the Instagram thing because I'm on my phone right now, so I can actually do it. If I do a quick search for falling, I can't believe I'm googling. Oh no.
Okay, if there's still an Instagram, fair.
No. So the first thing that comes up is a fan page. Page of Falling in Reverse.
Okay, so unless they're doing all the PR for them now.
It doesn't look like... Well, they're not even like verified or anything like that, but they do have 13k followers.
Well, yeah, 'cause it's a fan page.
It's a fan page,
They just post pictures of Ronnie and people go, ooh, Ronnie! Wish he'd get me with a mic stand.
In fact, let me... Looking through the Instagram, it's Ronnie. There's no... Oh, there's possibly another member of the band there.
Can you name another member of Falling in Reverse?
No.
Exactly.
Gone.
Yeah, so sorry if I didn't explain that properly to begin with. But yeah, so they have just deleted everything.
Okay, that's a little bit more intriguing. That's
So
a little bit
now
more
do you
mad.
see why I did a bit more of a deep dive of?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are still tickets on sale for these gigs that are happening in May.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they got announced for that massive festival where everyone's playing as well.
Yep.
I haven't seen any poster changes, so they are still there.
Yeah.
But it probably is just a massive PR stunt because, like you said, we're talking about it, but I only found out about it because other quote unquote reputable media websites were talking about it as well, which then means people are probably just kind of going, "Oh,
Can I hazard a guess on the reputable media website?
take a stab."
Loudwire.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Okay.
Was
Metal Hammer another one by any chance?
No, I actually unfollowed Metal Hammer of everything because a lot of their posts annoy me.
Yeah, that's fair
Man,
enough.
if any of the editors ever find any of this shit.
Don't worry. If they're one of the 11 people that are listening to this, then how we've managed to do that, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it just like it's not as if like I have an issue with the publications or anything or the websites themselves. I have an issue with the clickbait bullshit.
Oh yeah.
So, and because I'm an adult who's allowed to control what media he consumes on the internet, I just remove things I don't like.
Yep, fair
and
enough.
Ignore it.
Yep. Anyway, carry on.
I made a pose to justify my point, but
Yep.
the only person who saw that was Alex.
It was a good post.
If
He does
you-
it a lot.
If you know me, you can probably guess what I did. Bonus points if you write in the comments below what I did. Cool. All right, so we're going to move up on from the bottom down of most recent to oldest thoughts that I did have.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So the other day I was watching a Drumeo video.
Oh, yeah.
Big fans of the content.
No, I really like Drumeo. Big
fan.
shout out.
Big shout out to Drumeo, proper solid stuff. And they had Art Cruz, who is the current
Yep.
drummer from Lamb of God, on.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, cool. Is he playing one of the new Lamb of God songs? No.
No.
What song do you think he played?
Was it Laid to Rest?
Yes.
Who would have?
So obviously, I've got a few thoughts here. So it annoyed me for the fact that they got Art Cruz on to doing a playthrough of the most famous Lamb of God track is one thing.
Yep.
Valid.
I can see why. Perhaps Drumeo picked it because it is a big name.
Yeah,
Everybody knows Laid to Rest.
But the way that Drumeo does the breakdowns of their drum playthrough stuff is they have the artist who wrote the song explain certain parts.
And explain how they wrote it.
So you've got Art Cruz, who does actively say, he's like, I was younger when this song came out, and it's why I like drum.
Yes.
And he's like, this is not a song that I wrote. But
Yeah,
I can
it's-
explain how I learned it.
Yeah, that is.
But it's more the fact that they've kind of done this thing of Lamb of God drummer talks about Lamb of God song, even though current Lamb of God drummer did not write song.
Yeah, it's a bit. No, that seems like a weird move. I've not seen it, but it seems like a bit of a weird move to me. But I do get it because Laid to Rest. It's the song that everybody's gonna want to see
Yeah, but also objectively
a drum playthrough for.
From people who are into Lamb of God and also like drums,
Yep.
i.e. you, me, Connor, and everyone else who's a drum nerd.
Yep.
It's ironic as a vocalist saying that, but I really do like the drums. Is there are the Drummer World DVDs that exist out there of Chris Adler's like thing,
Yeah.
which has got, obviously he does play Later Rest on that one, but it's got like Hourglass.
Yep.
And Now You've Got Something to Die For. Objectively more interesting songs to watch someone play than
Correct.
this.
Yeah.
So I feel like they really missed a trick, especially because of Ashes is one of Lamb of God's big albums. You get this whole massive studio thing to get the thing. Why not just go Lamb of God's drummer is doing like another song that's more interesting? Because we watched that one with 2 from Sleep Token for the summoning. Where that is just
it's just unfair how talented that guy is.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that you want on these kind of channels, of like the absolute mad stuff.
It's not like Drumeo are adverse to like the extra, like complicated stuff.
Yeah, because they have like person comes on and tries to play animals as leaders.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah,
it's like I just kind of felt that they really went for what is the most famous song when they could have done something a bit more interesting. It just kind of gave me the ick a bit of like you could have got him to come and talk about one of the new Lamb of God drums, because I assume that, like, once again, as we discussed, I've kind of dropped off Lamb of God of late, but the technicality's obviously still there. So I assume there is some probably interesting stuff on the newer Lamb of God stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's no reason why they couldn't have had him do that.
Yeah, well, so when Lamb of God went through that transition of Chris Adler not being the drummer anymore and Art Cruz being the drummer, their Lamb of God, it's not like they're just going to pick someone that kind of knows. They're going to pick someone that's a good drummer because they can.
Yeah, it's like you're big enough, and it has to be someone who can literally fucking play the songs.
Yeah.
Because if you can't play those songs, what is the point of you being there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like with everyone, like anyone who's, as we had the whole discussion of Jay Weinberg gets kicked out of Slipknot. And then, as we discussed on the last episode, of the guy, when Jay Weinberg left Suicidal Tendencies, and then...
Oh, yeah, no, so there was the guy that was playing for Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a slight thing on it now.
That young lad who replaced Jay in Suicidal Tendencies. Yeah. But then the other day, Eloy Casagrande just left Sepultura for a new project that's definitely not Slipknot.
But it definitely is.
And now the bloke that it was in Suicidals is now in
Sepultura for their last tour.
So that I ended up looking him up and going, all right, he's now in Sepultura. What can this guy do? And he's like, as we discussed, he's one of those music.
Oh, he's a virtuoso.
It was that video of him on his Instagram where he just went, "Oh, I'm just going to do the intro to People Equal Shit or blast beats, but I'm doing the old school stick."
Yeah, the traditional grip.
Traditional grip, and I was just like, "All right, this guy could play Sepultura, can't he?"
Yeah.
So it's just that of like these guys are talented enough to get in. So
on that, I had like a little thing. More conspiracies, although it's basically true now. So Slipknot posted a picture of a broken Pro.
Oh, I saw that.
Broken Pro Mark stick.
The fucking post was so cringe.
And then Eloy Casagrande, who is rumored to be the new Slipknot drummer,
who is not in Slipknot,
played a People Equal Shit cover where he broke that stick.
Oh, for the love of just announce that he's in the band.
It's Eloy, it's got to be Eloy Casagrande. At this point,
what is the point of having all this mystery and secrecy? I mean, apart from the fact that we're all talking about it and it's making revenue clicks.
Yep. And it's kind of like the Slipknot thing at the minute to have all this mystery and secrecy
because they literally are running out of members.
Sorry, the Corey and Clown show.
the Corey and Clown show. I think this is definitely one of those things where it's that quote, isn't it? It's like you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yep.
And I really, really hate...
Corey and Clown have lived long enough.
I really hate the fact that we're seeing Slipknot go from one of the best metal bands of all time to...
It's a bit cringy.
It's just so bad, isn't it? It's just like, right, we've been best mates forever. We love each other. Slipknot's a family. If one of us dies, the band's over.
Yeah, but also see it a bit, Jay.
And so it's like it's fair enough moving on after Paul died tragically.
Yeah,
then Joey's out. Then Craig's gone. Then Chris is gone. And then they kick out Jay.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just stop, man.
So, quick question. If you had to put a prediction on it right now, who of the OG members or who you would consider to be like the OG members do you think leaves next? So if you're looking at who you'd consider like the OG members, you're talking Corey, Clown. They're not out because
Corey and Clown it's gonna end in a castle in Scotland with a Highlander style fight between Corey and Clown. That's how it's gonna end.
You've then also got the two guitarists, Jim Root, Mick Thompson.
Yeah.
And you've got Sid Wilson.
Yeah.
They're basically who you'd consider the OG members.
They are the only ones left. If I had any money, Jim's going to be next to go because he already got fired by Corey once out of Stone Sour.
Yep.
Because they couldn't get on anymore.
Yeah,
so Corey.
I think that as well because I think Jim Root does some like massive solo album or some shit, and he's just like, I'm Jim Root.
Jim Root could do a Jay. He could just fuck off and just go he could just go.
But imagine like some of the royalties that Jim Root would have for some of these riffs.
Duality.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
I'm the royalties from Duality alone, because
I'm pretty sure Psychosocial was him as well. like
that's enough money to fill 2 Olympic-size swimming pools in your back garden. Fam.
Yep.
Like it's gonna be Jim next.
I think Jim Root goes next,
and then it'll probably be Eloy.
Yeah,
he's gonna.
It'll be like like the Spinal Tap meme where they just
keep losing.
They keep losing drummers.
They keep dying.
And they keep dying or like exploding in smoke. Like sometimes in the middle of a show, it will just be like and it'll be the guy that joined Suicidal Tendencies who's now in Sepultura. It'll be. Because I'm so glad that because I saw a meme of that and it was just like a cycle of life. It was like the guy that joined Suicidal Tendencies is now in Sepultura, and it's got Jay following on from. So Eloy's left Sepultura to join Slipknot.
Yeah,
Jay's left Slipknot to join Suicidal Tendencies, and the guy who's Grayson Recruitment, who's the guy who joined Sepultura, losing
Suicidal to join Sepultura.
To join Sepultura. So the next round will be the Jay's in Sepultura. Jay will join Sepultura.
Well, he can't because Sepultura are on their final tour.
Yeah, no, but halfway through the tour, Jay will join Sepultura, Grayson will join Slipknot, and Elon Casagrande will join Suicidal Tendencies.
I mean, that was like the biggest upset about all of this is literally the fact that Sepultura are doing their final tour and they're retiring.
Yeah,
they are just going, right, we're doing this like 40 fucking years, we're done.
Yeah.
And then the fact that literally Clown then just went, yo, do you want to come join Slipknot? And Eloy just went, yeah, right, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's the game because that paycheck's going to be
exactly
tight.
Right.
But it's just so.
And also, Slipknot are seemingly never ending at the minute.
Yeah,
whereas Sepultura have gone, we're out.
Oh no, I've just thought about something really.
Although
bad.
Slayer also said that, but they're no longer out.
Yeah, but Slayer got back together because Tom Araya got bullied by his wife. That's just so weird.
Yeah. Anyway,
do you just not enjoy having your husband at home finally?
Well, that was the thing with the pandemic, though, wasn't it? There was like, as horrible as it is, there was couples that broke up because they spent more time with each other. So I reckon he was just like, right, I'm home for touring for good now. And for like maybe the first few months, his wife was like, yeah, no, this is pretty cool. Like you're around all the time now, like you're not touring or anything like that. And then like after a few months, she went, could you fuck off again, please?
Like,
Could you go back on tour?
Why have I found the spoons
in
the wrong drawer?
You've loaded the dishwasher a lot wrong again.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't agree with Slayer reforming either. No. But I did just think of like something really bad.
Go on.
Slipknot or an ending at this point. Do you remember a couple of episodes ago when I talked about what Kiss have become?
Yep.
And they've become fucking cartoons.
Yep. Corey and Clown.
The Corey and Clown series. Yeah, the animated series. It's going to be the 50th anniversary of Download. We're going to be like going, oh, for the love of Christ. But none of us can afford to go because Download tickets into the future
are
£1,000. And Castle Donington hasn't sunk into the ocean or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's just a giant green screen. And it's just a cartoon of Clown and Corey. Yep. There is no longer a Slipknot.
Yeah,
as Corey and Clown have merged with the AI hive mind. All is Slipknot. You are all my kids. Oh my god! I have not slept properly for a few days.
I mean, that was a bit of a wild ride of a thought process. What was your original thought in that one? What got us there?
Slipknot being an ending and the cycle of Sepultura.
No, like when you started, what have I thought about this week?
You mean what thought? I don't. It was the fucking Art Cruz thing.
It was we went from Lamb of God on Drumeo to Slipknot is now never ending.
I don't like this.
Anyway,
okay, next one.
Right.
Oh, this is just gonna get worse as well. This is something that I thought of as well because obviously in the local metal scene that we're in, certain musicians are in short supply.
Yep.
bassist for one.
Bassist has always been a big thing.
But luckily we have one.
Yep. And we're keeping him. Fuck all of you.
We've got custody, and I've got the legal ownership papers.
Yep. Sorry, Bing.
He's never going to listen to this.
He's not. He's never going to find out.
And then worse than bassists is drummers.
Yep. We also have one, and we're keeping him.
you could definitely.
You've got him locked in your house. He does pay rent, but you have him locked in your house.
I've also got all of his kit. So I have the drummer and the drum.
Yeah.
So there is no stopping me. But yeah, so obviously you have to find workarounds to being able to play live.
Absolutely.
You can get sessions.
Yep.
And a current popular one is a laptop drum.
Yep.
Which obviously, as a band who has a man who plays the laptop, we can't really talk shit on anyone having a drummer who is a laptop.
Or any form of musician that is a laptop.
Unless it's like, it does get a bit weird though.
Unless your vocalist is a laptop.
Unless your vocalist is a laptop.
Which I have seen before, and it's weird.
What?
Yeah, a certain band, a lower level band that we both know. It wasn't like full on frontman was the vocalist.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
No.
Oh, okay, so like backing tracks on vocal.
But I have seen. Have you seen this band that's come up recently? That's basically a metal band, but all the vocalist does is stick the mic down his throat and make some weird alien noise.
We are gonna write that down. We're gonna come back to that after the podcast because I do not, and that is.
I'll see if I can find them after the podcast for you.
Yeah. So,
but they basically all wear like hazmat suits.
What do you mean, all of them?
Like the band.
But I thought you said that it was everyone was a laptop.
No. So right.
Okay, this band aren't laptops.
This band aren't laptops.
Okay.
There are full 5-piece like metalcore / deathcore band. I can't quite remember.
Okay.
But all the vocalist does is stick the mic down his throat and make like robot-y alien noises.
Okay,
I will come back to you. All right, I'll fill you in on that one.
Okay, that fills me with a sense of fear. No, because I was more going to the fact that there's this guy that I know that's like a one-man project.
Okay,
America. America or Canada, I don't know.
North America.
One of the aboves. And but because he's a one-man project, when he plays live, it's just an entire backing track and him doing vocals.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a bit weird, but hey ho. Game's the game, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you told me that there was like an entire band, but then all the main vocals were on laptop, I'd be like, that's just taking the piss.
I mean, I've seen it before when bands have had specific features on the record.
Oh yeah. That's
where the feature has a very distinct voice and nobody can really like recreate it, and they'll have that part on a track, essentially on laptop. Yeah. That's fine. Unless you're a vocalist that can like recreate their style. But if it's like a certain type of like singing or like a certain type of harsh vocal that you just can't reproduce.
No, I think with stuff like that, I think I'd rather, unless it's like absolutely impossible, that the band just give it a go.
Yeah.
Because like Alpha Wolf did that split with Holding Absence, didn't they?
True.
The bassist does all the cleans live.
Yep.
Obviously, the bassist sounds nothing like Lucas and Holding Absence.
That's true.
But it works. So I think there's a bit of give and take.
There's obviously certain an example would be, I'm coming off the top of my head. If you had like, say we had all of us being male, and you had like Amy Lee from Evanescence.
If we had a guest in, it was a lassie.
Yeah.
Then obviously we'd be like, probably should put this on backing, shouldn't we?
Yeah. That's it. It's not like, and it's not like any, like you could like one of us, like Bing for instance, who does our cleans on most of our live stuff, could probably do like a regular like clean chorus or whatever.
But the whole point
if you had like Amy Lee who does like almost opera style cleans, or I wouldn't even call them like cleans, it's just Amy Lee.
Yeah,
but yeah, anyway.
I understand I understand the point you're trying to make. But I mean, and obviously I have seen bands who have like harmonies and stuff on backing and stuff. Yeah. I'm not super against it. So
although the band I was on about previously,
the
low level band, it's when you have harmonies that are on records that are all done by the same vocalist, so you physically cannot harmonize with yourself 5 times because there's only one of you. that's fine. But it's when you start getting, when we recorded the EP, and I'm sure many other artists do it, you layer yourself doing the same thing because it sounds better on record.
Yeah. And to be fair, I have thought about the possibility of us adding some of those vocal layers in to the backing, but that's a discussion for not on the podcast. So yeah, am I going to start cheating? Suck my dick.
Yeah.
The game is the game, but we wouldn't do it to the point where the general rule of thumb is if anything happened to the laptop, could we still play the set?
Right.
That is generally anything. That's something you should do anyway, because you should not be relying on your backing tracks.
No.
And your click tracks and stuff. Obviously, if that's what you want to do, that's your decision. This is a Wolves Don't Sleep official decision, etc., etc. Don't sue me, suck your mum. I'm allowed an opinion. But we completely derailed to the point which I was trying to make.
This is the derailment episode.
This is the derailment episode because I've not slept and there is no God. So obviously, as I mentioned, like a lot of bands have been using the drum top.
Yes,
I
like that.
I might trademark
the drum top.
Trademark it. The drum top. So they have a drummer that's a laptop, so it allows them to still play live.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with it.
Seen it done before.
Seen it done. Nothing new. We live in the modern world.
Yep.
It's not massive.
It makes it possible for you to play live without being able to find a drummer.
Yeah, which, as we mentioned, drummer. I'm pretty sure drummers are more endangered than like silverback gorillas at this point.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And there's like my mate Sladen, who's in Footprints in the Custard and Volnir and Confide, even though he plays guitar in Confide. He's in like a million bands.
Oh, yeah.
That's how rare drummers are.
I know, yeah.
So you find the ones that are completely insane and decide to join every band going.
Yeah, because if you asked Connor about it, he'd be like, absolutely no way, I'm only doing one band. One is enough.
Yeah, so here's something that I thought about. Especially because like a lot of the bands that do have like backing drum tops, as sometimes like the more extreme bands and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to find someone to play punk and it's just like you can find more of those drummers than you can.
You could, Then
you can have people who can blast.
Yeah.
Because blasting is hard.
Yep.
So my random question today is like when you're on like the internet and stuff, and you see people commenting on stuff like the Bloodstock Facebook posts. And, certain people who are very opinionated about what metal should and should not be.
Yep.
And these guys are always just like, oh, backing tracks bad, laptop bad, you're not real. Boo, 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 boo. And they're like, all right, do you want to come see my mate's Gore Grind band? Like, it's only him, a bassist, and a laptop as a drummer. That's totally cool, though. Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, where are the differences here? Because we are about to start using a laptop.
Yeah.
But that is for fill-ins and for me to make my noises.
And also, you do also literally have a launch pad that you've put individual notes on, so you are playing.
Yeah, I'm playing pieces, but I can only play so much of like backings and fill-ins,
and you can't really play the
text
sub drop.
I can make it with my voice. Just go.
That sounded far too close to Barry White than it should.
I don't know where you draw the line, because backing tracks are bad, but also the grindcore band.
Yeah, it's like backing track bad, backing drum track good.
Yeah, I don't.
Like there's.
I don't know where.
I see. There seems to be this kind of thing where I think it seems to be it's a very elitist opinion based upon what kind of subgenre it is.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you've got some like death metal bands that are like, oh yeah, we just don't have a drummer yet, but we want to come play live because live music is sick. Anyway, here's a MacBook with Logic just going. Everyone's like, yeah, this is sick. But then if it's like us going, yeah, so like we've got like a full band, we play everything, and then there's a few backing tracks and stuff because guitars don't go.
So like, it feels like there's like two ways here. There's one where you basically say apparently real, in inverted commas, real instruments are okay on a laptop, but fake instruments are not. i.e. the fake instruments that we use in a backing track, like string sections and like synthesizers, which is literally a word for like not real instrument.
Yeah. All right, you goddamn posers.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be a poser, you unplug your PV5150 head. Get that guitar's real sound.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You're like,
I'm sorry, can you just not use the axe effects? It's a bit poser.
Can you not use a microphone, Stephen?
I mean, to be fair, I probably could if I tried, but I'd fuck my voice.
Yeah, you would.
Because as we established, I am loud.
Yeah.
But
you're also not Alex Terrible.
No, because I'm not Russian or like 6 million feet tall and wide.
Yeah, true, and jacked and all of that. I watched him bend a 9-inch nail in half the other day.
Oh, of course. That's
well, in fact, no, he ripped it in half. Like he managed to bend it in the first few goes and went at it for like another 20 seconds, and he pulled both pieces apart.
It must be nice to have enough free time that you can just get jacked for a laugh in a day to go. You'll see, my friend. This is nail. I snap in half, yes.
My second part to like real instrument on laptop good, fake instrument on laptop bad is that if you read between the lines, it's the same sort of people that go proper metal good, metalcore bad.
And then it's something like, yeah, so that band I saw was Not Loose. They're really good, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like, but you hated Not Loose 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because
Yeah. And they tail off and
like that guy that I used to hang with, he tried to convince me that I Declare War were a death metal band.
Oh no.
Brutal slamming death metal band.
Yep, good.
Because those open notes are really they're a deathcore band. Shut up.
Yep.
So yeah, you are right. It is just discussing certain people, but it's just the entire just like the double think about it, where it's just like drum laptop good, synth noise bad.
Yeah, exactly.
No. It's like fucking hell.
Sorry, not all of us can afford analog synths.
Analog synths will take the piss to cart around.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the whole point of having.
We are not the Prodigy.
Yeah, because like when you've got like Arctics and you pay people to move your stuff, analog synth on stage is fine. Although to be fair, with how expensive and old they are, I wouldn't dare take them outside.
That's true. Although I have seen Architects do it now. They have an analog synth.
Yeah, but I think that's more like a newer analog, where I think is the stuff that I'm like, you're
talking like the modular stuff.
Because newer analog synths will be analog, so they'll sound more analog-y. I'm completely butchering this. I'm so sorry. I know what I mean.
A bit more analog.
They do have
they have that analog sound.
The analog sound, that's it. But they're newer. If we were going to invest in analog kit, we'd be like, yo, I found this really old thing because it sounds sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's the kind of stuff that me and Alex are into. Where it's
but I say Architects do it now, but Architects are architects.
The Architects have architects money. They get to play arenas. But to be fair, like the stuff when we were chatting about like if we were going to get more studio kit, we were like, it'd be really cool, like a Valve preamp for vocals.
Yeah.
Because it's like stuff like
that,
which is like we use the electronic digital stuff because it's a lot easier.
Yeah, and
but
cheaper. And
if we had access to all the analog stuff, I mean, God, we take an orchestra if we could.
So I'm a huge fan of finding small little things that produce a unique sound because it sounds different to everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and it's the same with using analog gear. Like, I know you can like emulate it these days, but if you can go, this sound was recorded on this thing in this room, and it sounds completely unique to anything else, that's cool to me.
Yeah, it's like my synth is slightly broken, but it makes this really
it makes
cool
sound. It makes a weird sound. Well, to the point where when I was producing things a little bit, I was having my carpets replaced in this house, which meant the hallway was like really echoey and reverby. To the point where I learned how to make an impulse response.
Oh, you made an IR?
I made an impulse response, which I have somewhere. I have multiple of it from like basically like recording me clapping in a hallway as the impulse and making a convolution reverb from my hallway.
Oh man, we still need to go make the impulse response from the Broad Marshall Station.
Yeah, from the tunnel.
Yeah, from that tunnel.
That just echoes for years.
Yeah, it has like a ping pong delay in a tunnel.
Exactly. But it's that kind of thing. So I can sit there and say, if I applied this reverb to like a noise or something like that, like nobody else has the impulse response because I've never shared it with anybody.
Yeah, because it's which is cool. So
which I like. It's just adding like weird little things where you can be like, you know what, that nobody else can produce that sound.
Yeah, which I'm fine for. But also at the same time, you could also achieve the same thing with digital stuff, because if you do something that you do, granted there is, through a probability, someone could replicate the same thing that you have done, but also there's so many different combinations and stuff anyway that you, because like I opened Serum once because I was watching a Big Chocolate YouTube tutorial when he was doing dubstep stuff, and I was like, yeah, so then I opened Serum and I looked at Serum and went, what in the fresh fuck is this?
Serum is incredible.
Oh yeah.
It is like the synth. If you
I am under the impression it is one of the best synths out there.
Soft synth, yes.
But I don't have a goddamn clue what any of it is. It's like a spaceship.
Yep.
So that kind of defeats the argument. It's just a matter of preference. But also, I do lean to the analog sound is better, but we live in a modern world. So, sucks. Is what it is. Game's the game. But yeah,
game's the game. Something about laptops versus
if you like laptop drummers, backing tracks are okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Fuck off.
Laptops are in modern...
It's the same thing.
People use laptops in modern music these days. That's it.
If you want to be that anal, record your drums to tape and play over that live.
Yeah. And take your tape deck to any shows and hope that the sound guy can force an XLR into it.
Oh, that would be so joke. Imagine rocking up and then it's like, so where's your amp? And they just hand you a fucking speaker and spell.
Sony Walkman.
Yeah. Do you imagine? That'd be so joke. Right, so us nerding out over gear and stuff brings me very nicely onto my final topic.
Okay.
Of things that I thought once.
Oh, nice.
So obviously, like, we're nerds and we have discussed that we can't listen to music for fun as much anymore because like we kind of break it down and we overthink stuff. And then I kind of had this thought. Is this why that recently we've been really getting into bands like Kublai?
Just because of the simplification.
Because there is zero, like it's my notes literally said because monkey brain activated. Is that so? It's literally just like, all right, so we've got to write this song, and then we were practicing stuff, and there's like we've got to like click like all the different stuff happening. There's different layers, and you got to remember what you're doing, and then it's just like, right, and now to relax.
If I'm honest, like maybe like once a week ago, I really want to start a Kubla Khan style band. I just want to play 3 notes for 2 minutes and then be done with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And just make some animal noises.
So that was like my thought. I was just like, is that why we've been really getting into like really silly hardcore and stuff? Just
it's like easy listening at the end of the week. All you want to do is like because it's like you're not listening to like Monuments or like Animals as Leaders where you got to like pay attention to what's going on. Like I know that there's going to be 3 notes throughout the song, and I know that they're just going to like. There's going to be about 4 lyrics, like 4 lines of lyrics, and I'm okay with it because like I don't have to pay attention. I've spent 40 hours of my week paying attention to things.
Yeah, it's just like, we've got practice this week, and I've got to remember like click tracks and the timings, and then like,
and then with my job as well, like pay attention to that. All I want to do is listen to and I'm done.
It's like I don't have to really think about it. I'll go, oh, that'd be really like a nice bit to like think about to add into one of our songs at some point. It's just like, bitch, done.
Yep.
I'm glad that we're aligned on that.
Yeah, man.
Because that was just a random. It was like that was like 100% like a shower thought or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or probably a nice driving to work listening to
Probably, yeah. Were you thinking at the time, I really want to make a Kubla Khan style band because that would be really fun?
I genuinely do. I've become so close to just restringing my guitar, setting it up, and just writing,
and just finding like the most disgusting guitar tone you can.
Because I only have 3 plugins as well, don't I?
Doesn't matter, mate.
Which would be even
just
funnier.
Put 7 distortion pedals on it and be done with it,
and then get an impulse response from a swamp.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, you said you had something.
I have one bit of news, and so as a reading, this article is marked like 60 and 41 today.
Okay, next time when we go the news section and I do a silly thing, and then I go, right, I've run out of news. You should then jump in and go, but wait, Steve, I've got news.
Yeah, no, I was just waiting because we just kept moving on to different topics. That's fine.
One day, if I ever learn how to do the chapters thing on these things, so
oh
we can
shit,
show
yeah.
these chapters, it's going to be all out of whack. And then we have news part 1, news part 2.
Yeah, that's
and then at the end we'll do like another news story.
Anyway, but
what you got? There's breaking news.
Yep. So there is a new Grade 2 listed building in Birmingham. All right. This is to do with kind of things that we're into.
All right.
Can you guess why?
A new Grade 2 listed building. What is gone up for sale?
It's a pub.
It's a pub.
It's been recently graded. It's been recently
a
listed.
pub's been recently graded.
Yeah, in Birmingham.
Because I was going to go things. She was like, oh, so there's this Grade 2 listed building in Birmingham. I go, what? Yeah, they're old buildings. That's where they come from. I wasn't really quite sure.
No, can you hazard a guess why?
Is it because? Okay, just remind me. The Grade 2 listed buildings is not only buildings that are old, but they're also of cultural and historical importance.
Correct. Yeah. So there's Grade 2 and there's Grade 1. Grade 1 is like you're not allowed to touch anything. We need to preserve this for the rest of
like
time.
So like Windsor Palace and stuff.
Yeah. Grade 2 is I believe you can't touch the outside, but the inside's okay.
Yeah, because there's a fair few buildings in Notts and stuff that we've been into where it's like, they've done up a bit, but it's an old building.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
so a building in Birmingham is Grade 2 listed. Yeah. And it's just become Grade 2 listed and it's a pub. Is it one of the first places Black Sabbath played?
Correct.
Fucking he shoots, he scores from metal knowledge.
So it is sort of Don's the birthplace of heavy metal.
Okay. I have a few questions.
Yep.
So obviously we have a gig booked in Birmingham.
Yep.
We go to a lot of gigs in Birmingham.
It's not there.
No, I know it's not. If we were like, oh, we're playing in the place Black Sabbath first played, I'd be like, all right, this is becoming a bit. So my question is, so this pub has now become Grade 2 listed and its cultural significance is Black Sabbath.
The
birthplace of metal.
Yep.
Do they actually put on live gigs?
I'm reading through it. I believe they may well do.
Because if they don't,
so let me read through it. It might uncover some of the things.
Yeah. So let me just work out like let me walk you through my thought process while you read.
Okay.
So because it would be so fucking typical that this pub there's like, oh, look at us, we're Grade 2 listed now. And because the birthplace of heavy metal was here. Anyway, our jukebox doesn't allow anything heavier than the Arctic Monkeys. And we only have dark fruits on tap.
No. Okay, so
I could pure see it being a rock pub as well, just to piss everyone off.
So it's called The Crown. So it's very particularly British pub name.
That's like a million crowns.
Yeah, exactly. So it was done after thousands of people signed a petition to make this thing Grade 2 listed, which basically means they can't turn it into a spoons.
Oh, thank God.
I don't think so. A one-of-a-kind historic pub where Black Sabbath played their first gigs has secured a listed status. The Crown, known as the birthplace of heavy metal, was one of the buildings at risk on Station Street at Station Street, also home to the UK's oldest working cinema, the Electric, which was closed last week. Okay, so it looks like there's been like a string of closures of old buildings in Birmingham, and these guys,
they're doing like bare reconstruction work.
And the petition was to save this pub, so they made it. So they petitioned for it to be Grade 2 listed, which means they basically can't touch it.
Yeah.
It has been Grade 2 listed by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport on the advice of Historic England, and after more than 15,000 people signed a petition calling for the street to be saved and designated as a site of civic pride, cultural value, and historic asset. Basically, so you're telling me that Black Sabbath are a site of civic pride.
Yeah, they've got a bench in the middle of Birmingham with
cultural value and historic asset, and you look at Ozzy Osbourne now. That was a cheap shot. Okay,
that was a cheap shot. Okay, next question: does this pub have gigs on? That's the next thing, because I think it's only right
So I'm trying to find. So apparently it's been empty since 2014.
Oh shit!
So it's not been running.
So now it's got grade 2 status, so it can't be wiped.
No, but
That's
it doesn't
fine.
mean they have to open it.
That's true. But you know what would be sick?
Yeah.
Is if someone turned it into a venue. I think
No, that'd be cool.
because obviously there's this whole thing going. All right, so we've stopped this pub from being closed down, yeah, and then you telling me the pub's closed. So then it's just like, okay, so what is the point then? Because it's all well and good going, oh, this is really significant because Black Sabbath started here.
Yeah.
But then what's it doing?
Okay, so the article doesn't mention about anyone playing there or anything like that, but it's given a list of musicians that have actually played there.
So why is it saying that that's where Black Sabbath started?
Well, it is.
So Black Sabbath have played there.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
No, that's where they played their first gigs. It's not open anymore.
No. I've confused you. So what I mean is just like the fact that it's no longer a venue.
Right.
So my thought process went from this pub is where Black Sabbath played their first gig, and I went, I bet they don't even fucking have gigs on. You've gone, they're closed.
Yeah.
So I've gone,
yeah.
oh, so then I'm like, well, then it needs to become a venue.
It would be cool to have a venue.
That's the only way it needs to go.
But so it's hosted The Who, Status Quo, UB40, Duran Duran, Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, because back in the day when these bands would just play random places, because my uncle saw Led Zeppelin play at the Canal House in Knots.
Well, so quite famously, the Vic Inn in Derby, or the Victoria Inn, should I say, has had bands like Arctic Monkeys and Coldplay as they were coming up.
And then it got refurbed and turned into a boring pub that doesn't have gigs on.
And it closed for a while, but now it's back open.
I think it has gigs back on again now. Funny that.
Yeah, weird. And it says going on like Supertramp, Judas Priest, and a number of Robert Plant's pre-Led Zeppelin bands.
So he was just kicking about.
Yeah, basically.
I don't think that counts of like, so bands that Robert Plant was in once. It's like, we were all in bands once.
But yeah, so a little bit of news. The birthplace of heavy metal has now been made grade 2 listed, which basically means it's preserved in England for as long as they can keep it upright.
Which is
so they're allowed. So the way I understand grade 2 listing means is that they're not allowed to make changes to the outside unless like to hold it up. So structural changes they're allowed to make, but the inside, or most of the inside that can't be seen from the street, is fine to change. Yeah, to modernise.
Which honestly is fine.
Which would be sick to have a venue there.
Yeah, I think
the birthplace of heavy metal.
And then just start putting on metal bands.
Have metal bands on there would be sick.
Because like, how sick would it be if you're in a band and you're just like, oh, you want to play the place that Black Sabbath first played?
Exactly, yeah.
You're cool. Or if you're a young band of kids who are like really young, they form a metal band, and then it's like, oh yes, we got a gig at where Sabbath started.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, that's dead cool, isn't it?
But even like, it was pretty cool to like play the Vic Inn in Derby and go, oh, you know what, Arctic Monkeys play here, Coldplay play here on their way up. Like,
it was like when we played the Rebellion in Manchester, and we were like, and Connor's brother Diddy was with it, and he's like, oh, the last time I was here was when I saw Trivium on the Ascendancy tour. We're like, yo,
yeah, exactly,
and stuff like that. So it's like, it is cool to be like, all right, so we're now playing quote unquote proper venues, or like venues that bands we like have played at some point. So it's very much just like, all right, cool. So I guess we are kind of doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So which is always really nice. Whereas like when I played Rock City Basement for the first time, I was like,
yeah, exactly.
A lot of bands that or like Rescue Rooms. It's
Rescue Rooms have had a lot of bands through there.
And it's like, all right, sound like this is really cool. But then you realise that most backstage areas of all venues are really not that great.
No. To be fair,
Rescue Rooms
do have really nice.
But getting from the dressing room to
it's really awkward.
Really awkward. Rock City, pretty nice dressing rooms, backstage area, a bit awkward, but not been in years, so it could be nicer.
Could be nicer. All I remember from the Rock City dressing rooms is that they have a Marshall fridge.
Yeah, they used to have regular beer fridges, and we put someone in it, or me in it.
Probably you, because you are quite small.
No, because we're other members of the band. Previous members of the band have been quite small as well.
Yeah, true.
And the strip table tennis tournament, that was a good one.
Yeah.
It was me and one of our mates, and we were like, so at this point.
Oh no, I've heard the story.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, it's the podcast, obviously. So we were doing strip table tennis. So then he's in his boxers, I'm in my boxers, and then the promoter just comes and opens the door, stops, goes, "What are you doing?" And we go, "Strip table tennis, obviously."
Yep.
And he just goes, "Right, there's your set times." Then just leaves. But at least it was just harmless. Fun.
Yeah. If anyone from who like has any involvement to do with the Crown in Birmingham, the birthplace of heavy metal, turn it into a venue. It would be sick.
Just don't ask us to pay for it because we can't.
No, we can't.
If I could though, like if I magically came into shit tons of money,
it'd be a sick thing to do.
That would be a sick thing to do.
Sweet.
I'd also probably like make a really cool venue in Nottingham somewhere with an actual backstage.
It's
the only thing I think about. Like, just
to be fair, I had like weird venue ideas at one point. It's like a boredom thing. Like I came up with like a concept for it and like anything. Maybe for another episode.
Yeah, like our wacky grand designs.
Wacky.
Yeah, because I think it'd be cool. Because we the few places we played in Notts, I say the few places, the venues that do have gigs on in Nottingham, we've played nearing a form at this point.
It's basically you get to the point where you've played enough venues, you go, I could take all the good things from different venues across the UK and like amalgamate them into like one decent venue.
It's like we played Billy's a fair bit in Notts. Pretty good venue.
Yeah.
Pretty good bar. I just wish there was like an actual like backstage area to put gear.
Just most smaller venues. So even if it's like a small room where like it's like a decent place to like store all your gear, so many bands would like appreciate that so much from just having a room somewhere that is away from the crowd that you could like slightly more safely store your gear.
And it has to be connected directly to the side of the stage so you're not walking through people. That's literally all I want.
Yeah.
And maybe a lift.
Yes.
And a few more electric like plug sockets in the walls, you know? Like just really basic shit. Maybe a heater as well.
Yeah.
All right, well fuck it out.
Should we I think we should leave it there.
Yeah, we'll move on for that topic.
Thank you. If you've got through this like ADHD podcast.
Did you not say you had an activity?
Huh?
Did you not say you had an activity?
What?
You said you were going to get an activity for us.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't get one of those.
Right. Let me check if I've got anything else.
I mean, bear in mind we are an hour and 15 minutes in.
Oh my god, we've got way further than I thought we would because it's just we should probably do an episode, shouldn't we? Yeah, and then it's just absolute carnage. I have got. I've got nothing, but I've really got some new cool song ideas, some stuff I'm gonna listen to this week.
Okay,
they're not going to be on the podcast though. No. Go suck it
in a bit, internet.
In a bit.